This is Sparta!
Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Tanks. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are going to have a little story time with Spartan. I almost screwed the pooch on that one. So yeah, a little story time with Spartan. Now if you remember a while back I asked you guys which you would rather hear for my next story time with Spartan. And if I remember correctly, the resounding winner of that was the tackles that I had in basketball. So when I was in high school, I graduated in 2004 for some context. And yeah, I know I'm not that old, but I am pretty old. But I graduated in high school in 2004 and I was 275 pounds. Now I had played sports all through high school. I also played a little bit in middle school, though not as much in middle school as I should have. Now I prefer basketball, but my senior year I went out for football. But the funny thing was, I ended up getting hurt in football because a guy decided to put his helmet in my back. You know, when I'm trying to get to a play and a guy just spears you in the back with a helmet, you know, kind of ruins your day and screws up your back a little bit. And so my doctors told me that if I wanted to continue to play basketball, which was my main sport, even though I sucked at it, it was my favorite sport at the time, that I would need to stop playing football, so that's what I did. So, my favorite tackles that I had in basketball. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not good at basketball. Never have been. I'm not the most athletically gifted person in the world, but, you know, when I was a senior in high school, I was 6'1", 275 pounds, so I'm a pretty big, beefy farm boy from the middle of nowhere. Okay, so I can handle myself on the court. Can't shoot to save my life, but I can handle myself, and for a big guy, I move pretty well. Or at least I used to. Nowadays, not so much. But I used to move pretty well, especially when I was in shape. You know, well, yeah, you were only shape you were in, Spartan, was round. Yeah, I know. I've been there, done that. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, so one of the things that a big fella like myself has a problem with is stopping. Okay? I have a trouble with stopping. I can get moving, and I move pretty good. But stopping is a whole other ballgame. There's a lot of momentum to stop there. So we were down at Caldwell. There was an invitational tournament down there. So we were down in Caldwell. And for whatever reason, our... and this wasn't my senior year in high school either. This was one of my JV games. So JV games... Our coach didn't show up, so we had the varsity coach for this Caldwell Invitational. And so he lets me start. One of the few times that I actually got to start. But one thing that anybody that knows me knows, that no matter how long I'm on the court, whether it be 4 minutes or 30 seconds, or even longer if you get to start the game, but no matter how long I'm on the court, you're going to know that I was on the court, okay? It's just a thing. People used to love when I would get on the court just because it's going to get interesting. Maybe not pretty, but interesting. And so here I am getting on the court, starting the game, and this kid cherry picks. Cherry picking is when you stand about half court and you catch a pass from your teammate because nobody. Ooh, there's a good shot. Nobody's paying attention to you. We're all down there defending the basket, and or I guess if you're cherry picking, I guess it would be your team is defending the basket and you're standing out at half court waiting for them to get the ball to you quickly so you can start a fast break. That's what we call cherry picking. Now this kid gets a fast break. He's all by himself. He's running down the court. And for whatever reason, okay, I'm giving chase, first of all. Think about that. So I'm chasing him on a fast break. I'm running as fast and as hard as I can run with my 275-pound in-shape frame, okay? So I'm running hard. And this kid gets the ball on a fast break. He's all by himself, and he dribbles down the court. Now, what you're supposed to do in this situation is you run in, and you lay up the ball, and you score. 2 points, easy does it. There's nothing around you. You can't possibly screw it. Even I have trouble missing a layup when it's wide open. I've done it, but it's not easy to miss. So what this kid does, for whatever reason, he gets all the way to the foul line on our side, where he can score easily. All he had to do was do a layup, but he stops to shoot a foul shot instead of going in for the layup. Now, in my mind, that's ding, 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 we have a winner. I can actually make this. So, while we're about to hit this Death Star in the butt, and for 1,832, this kid stops at the foul line. I'm running full throttle at him as hard as I can run. He pulls up to do a little jumper, and I come crashing over the top. Now, to be fair, I got all ball and blocked the shot, made him look silly. Everybody cheered, and then I landed on him because 275 pounds airborne while moving full speed is kind of hard to stop. I don't have air brakes, and I don't have a rocket strapped to my stomach, though there might be one strapped to my rear if I eat the right kind of foods, if you know what I mean. But anyway, so you can just imagine the sheer force involved with a 275-pound man airborne blocking the shot and just obliterating the kid on the way down. Now, of course, I get called for a foul because even though I blocked the shot cleanly, I did just kill the kid. And so that was one of my tackles. Now, we don't have a whole lot of time, so I'm not going to set this up for the next one. Now, we were playing another team, and it just so happens this was the other game that I started in high school, which was my last home game as a senior on the varsity team. My only game I ever started as a senior in high school. And this kid that we were playing thought he was Michael Jordan. And I'll be real honest, I'm not used to playing a kid who thinks he's Michael Jordan, let alone can actually ball. Like, I can play with shooters, I can play with fast guys, slow guys, whatever. This kid could jump higher than I've ever seen anybody jump in my life. Dude was like 5'7", but he could jump over top of me almost. Like, I'm in a 2-3 zone. I'm on the backside of a 2-3 zone. Kid is coming back door. My team goes back door, back door. I turn around. They give him the ball just as I turned around. And he's already, his knees are eye level for me. All right, this kid's like 5'7". His knees are eye level with me. He going in for a dunk almost. And I'm like, I can't allow that to happen. So, in what should have been a flagrant foul and got me ejected, I did the only thing I could do, which was I can't try to block the shot at this point. He's jumped way higher than I can. So, I gave him a push. And I pushed his legs out from under him. And he hit the floor so freaking hard that everybody got quiet. If you've ever seen one of those collisions, you'll know what I'm talking about. One of those where somebody hits the floor so hard that the whole room goes quiet. But he gets up. He's perfectly fine. He goes down. They get the ball. He's already shot his foul shots. We go down. We do our thing down at the other end. He comes back down the floor. And this time I'm out of the game. But a kid that's more muscular than me, but same height, and is way more athletic than me, named Ryan Bice, he's in the top of the 2-3 zone. And this kid tried to jump over him for a layup down the center. And I'm not joking. Now, Ryan, like I said, I'm 6'1". He was probably 6'1", except he's more muscular than I am. I'm kind of heavy. But anyway, this kid goes to jump over top of him and almost made it. Now, Ryan stood straight up. He wasn't moving. He was standing straight up, flat-footed, and this kid ends up catching his knee on Ryan's shoulder. All right? Picture how high you have to be for that to happen. So, yeah, that's another epic crash for that kid. He come running down the middle, went for his layup, jumped over top of Ryan, and caught his knee on his shoulder, so he's fallen from 6 foot high, at least, and smashing the basketball floor again. So that's twice in one game. Very quickly, he ends up just absolutely decimating himself, and not a good situation to be in. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. We had a pretty solid game there in a sandstorm. I didn't know what else to do for the story time, so I figured I'd give you another Battle Axe game. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.